So in the last video I found myself sailing alone in Genoa, otherwise known as the San Blas Islands on the Caribbean coast of Panama. I'm hoping to go back there to learn more about the indigenous community that lives there and the beautiful wooden canoes that they still build. But before that I've got to do some work on this boat, and so right now I'm sailing to Linton Bay, which is about 50 miles away from San Blas, and there hopefully they're going to be able to lift Tally-Ho out of the water so I can do some work below the waterline. So I've arrived here at Linton Bay, had a very nice sail from San Blas Islands, good wind for most of the way, got a little bit light at the end and I had to motor the last little bit, but arrived here well before dark, which was the goal. And Tally-Ho is scheduled to be hauled out tomorrow at some point, I'm not sure what time yet, but I'm doing a bit of prep to get the boat ready for that. I want to get all the sails covered and put away because there's a lot of rain squalls that come through here. So I managed to get the mainsail cover on before any squalls. Obviously the sails are going to be packed away for a few weeks, so I don't want to pack them away wet. The head sails did get rained on. I think I'm going to hoist them just to dry them out a bit before I pack them away. So while my head sails are drying in the background, I want to explain a little bit about Linton Bay, where I am right now. It's quite an interesting place. It's one of the only really sheltered ports on the Caribbean side of Panama. So it's one of the only places you can leave a boat and it'll be sort of truly protected from all directions. And I think that's one of the reasons why it sort of has attracted a lot of interesting boats, interesting characters. So I'm quite looking forward to staying here for a little while and seeing who I meet and hearing some of their stories. So I've just been to the boatyard to meet the yard manager and talk about the haul out, which I thought was going to be today actually. Turns out they have some maintenance they need to do on the travel lift, and they need to move some other boats around to make room for me and to relaunch some boats. So it's going to be delayed for a few days, which actually is not a problem at all. I have some prep I'd like to do first, which is actually better for me, and I'm just very grateful that they're fitting me in at all because the boatyard is very full. But this video was supposed to be about hauling out tally-ho, and the videos are actually very up to date at the moment, so that still won't have happened by the time this video is released. So I have to find some different content because I do want to release a video this weekend, and not only because people will be expecting it, but also because my income per video, I'm incredibly grateful for all of it, but it has gone down quite a bit since we launched the boat. And this period coming up is going to be, I think, quite an expensive one. I'm going to have some people helping me doing some painting and so on. So in the name of content, I think I'm going to go row my dinghy around the anchorage and see what I find.
No. Hello.
Oh, thank you. So one thing that I typically don't show as much in my video is the social side of sailing and cruising, generally because I don't like to be having a camera when I'm talking to people and getting it in their faces and so on. It feels awkward. But cruising like this, sailing like this can be very, very social because you're surrounded by other people in other boats, often doing similar things. And it's very easy to meet them and just take the dinghy over and say hi, or they come over and say hi. And often you actually see the same people in multiple different places. For example, my neighbour here, one of them is a British guy called Matthew, who's sailing on his own. He lives in Canada, and I actually first met him on the west coast of Costa Rica in the Pacific. And we stayed in touch, and he came through the canal after me. And then we actually hung out quite a few times in San Blas Islands, and we'd go get dinner and so on. He is here now, and he's asked me to help him with something on his boat. So I'm going to go over there and see if he'll let me interview him, because he's got a pretty interesting lifestyle, and I'd like to find out more about how he manages to spend his time cruising and living on his boat. Good time?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit windy, but it's just gonna have to, I think, just wrestle it down and then either fold it if I can, but if not, I'm just gonna jam it right through the hatch like it's a spinny.
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah? All right, let's give it a shot.
Okay. So yeah, putting the boat in storage for 6 months while I go back to Canada and work. So I want to take down the Genoa just to prevent UV sun damage over the summer. And less windage. We don't get hurricanes around here apparently, but it'd still be nice to have less stuff on the boat, just in case it comes unwound or something during the summer and then just spends 6 months flapping around. Okay, ready when you are.
All right, I'm just clearing the lazy sheet.
Oh yeah, good thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna blow it, okay?
Okay, yep, blow it. Nice. Awesome, that's the tough part done, thanks. Well, that went way better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I think the fact it actually backwinded immediately was super helpful. Looks like it's going to rain as well.
Rocky's little box.
Lovely. Thank you. Oh, beautiful.
Cool.
So my trip started in Victoria, up in the west coast of Canada, in BC. This is actually my second time trying to sail a long distance on a boat. The first time was on my old boat, which ended due to COVID, when I left Mexico to try and sail to French Polynesia, and all the borders closed down about 2 days after I left, which I found out using my SSB radio, and had to turn around and sail back to Mexico. Yeah, left the boat there for a year and stuff, and then sold it, and then came back to Canada, bought a new boat, and trying to sail long distance again. I'm currently thinking probably trying to sail back up the east coast through the Northwest Passage and then back to Victoria.
Cool, so it'll be sort of like a circumnavigation of North America.
Yes, North and Central America, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm basically, generally I'm doing 6 months on sailing, 6 months off. On my 6 months off, I go back to Canada and work in wilderness lodges or fishing lodges, which gets me enough money to carry on sailing and fix the boat and upgrade the boat. probably the biggest issue for me is just time management. It's if you're sailing and you're like cooking and trying to keep on top of all the cleaning and the maintenance and route plan and also have fun, it's like sometimes, yeah, it's hard to fit it all in, honestly. Basically, I hear a lot of times people say get the biggest boat you can afford. I could not disagree with that more. It's get the smallest boat you can live with, because costs go up exponentially.
I agree. In a lot of ways, the smaller the boat, the bigger the fun is. Like someone said that famously, and it's really true. I mean, the amount of fun you can have kind of camping in a dinghy.
Just don't get a boat that's too big for you. Like, you're going to have more fun. It's going to be way more manageable financially and sailing ability wise and things. And yeah, a little bit of suffering never hurt anyone. It's not. If there's no suffering, it's not an adventure. It's a vacation, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like, at least you could be suffering while sailing. Whereas if you buy a boat that's like too big for you, especially if you're trying to fix it up a bit, so many people get stuck in the boatyard for years trying to make their dream boat. Whereas if they got something a bit smaller, they could just be out doing it. And you can always upgrade later or get a bigger boat. But like, so it's just like, if you can just get out there on the water and start sailing, like, you're going to understand the things you actually need and don't need so much quicker and have so much more fun.
I totally agree. And fixing stuff on anchor is way more pleasant than being in a boatyard.
Thanks for chatting, and hope the off season goes well. And
thanks.
Maybe we'll see you out here in the Caribbean next year.
Yeah, I hope to see you in the Caribbean, depending on what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah. Do you feel like helping me with the same thing a bit later?
Absolutely, yeah.
Kind of stupidly tried to dry my sails right at the end of the day yesterday.
Yeah.
And then it rained.
It rained pretty intensely, yeah.
Yeah.
There's something really satisfying about making a shop shack.
We're going to go to the other side of the boat, around the mast, so the starboard side. Sort of as far outboard as you can. And then flaking it? We'll flake it just this top bit first. You can just feel the drops already.
Yeah, I can actually feel drops.
There it comes.
It's blowing from that direction as well, so it's coming under the... couple of drops, nothing bad.
Well, that's it for now. A little bit of a low-key video, this one. Nothing too exciting happened, but hope you enjoyed it anyway. And if there's one message I think from this video, I think the stuff that Matthew was talking about was really interesting, especially when we were talking about the benefits of choosing a small boat if you want to do this sort of thing, not something silly like tally-ho, and just getting out there and doing it. So maybe if that inspires a couple of people, then this video will have done something useful. And yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the journey. Hopefully we'll be hauling out very soon, and then there'll be lots of work going on. For now though, thanks a lot for watching, and a massive thank you to everyone who has donated or otherwise supported this project. It does make a huge difference. It means I'm able to keep on sailing this boat and keep on making these videos. So I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Cheers.